What's up, y'all? You see millions of people coming across the border. None of them are white. You see millions of people coming across the border, but they're telling you that it's not what they're saying. They're just coming to seek asylum. They're just coming for a better life in America. Under the Biden administration, there's been more immigrants to cross over the border in the last 200 or some years. So clearly there's an agenda behind people coming into this country. So the question is, why do they want these folks to come into this country? Now, they're telling you that the white people's theory is wrong. They don't want to replace white people. So then what is the reason? Let's look up Open Society. George Soros, Open Society Foundation. The Open Society Foundation works to build vibrant and inclusive democracies whose governments are accountable to their people. Every year, the Open Society Foundation gives grants to a diverse array of groups and individuals who promote our values through a unique network that is guided by local voices and global expertise. Total expenditures, 21 billion. In 2022, they spent 1.3 billion. Total grants awarded 50,000. Open Society Foundations are active in more than 120 countries around the world using grant giving, research advocacy, impact investment, and strategic litigation to support the growth of inclusive and vibrant democracies. So we see this open society is a way to fund the folks once they get over here. So you get the governments to open the borders, and then once they get over to the country, you give them all kind of grants and jobs and monies and all this stuff. So now you integrate them into society. And so what we're seeing now in America is an invasion. What they want is a war that's won through the culture. This is a culture war. They're not going to be firing any bullets, none of that. There's going to be a culture war. Who's going to win the culture? So right now, if you're a white person, you can't speak on things that are wrong. Well, the flip side to that is no other group of people do. Think about it. The only social police that we have in the world are white people. White folks are the only one that says, this is wrong, this is happening, look what's going on, we shouldn't be doing this. They're the only ones. And ironically, white people are the minority. Think about the psychology of telling you that you're the minority and it's actually white people. On a global scale, white people are the minority. So imagine you saying the term minority to put in someone's head that they are outnumbered. This is all a psychological game. This is all a psychological game. So now you got the average person looking at a white person and you got them thinking that white people just dominate the world. It's not even true. You even got the Jews blaming the white people. Think about that. You even got the Jews blaming the white people. So now you got the average white person is being blamed for all the problems in the world. And they're telling you if a white country doesn't want a whole bunch of immigrants coming in illegally, then they're racist. They're setting up society to where you can't speak the truth. If you can't speak the truth, they don't need any warplanes. They don't need any fighter jets. They don't need any bombers. They don't need any aircraft carriers. If you can't tell the truth, they don't need that stuff. It's over. So when you see all these folks coming to this country, it is an act of war. It is. I know it sounds bad to say, but it is. And the problem is that everybody besides these white people with some sense, they're dumb because everybody else indulges in the culture. Somebody said, what is white culture? There is no white culture. Think about it. What's white culture? What is white culture? Think about it. What is it? What is white culture? What they're trying to convince the world of is that white people are the problem. And if white people are the problem, then what is the solution? You don't have to wage war. You just create a culture that is anti-white. So that means Hollywood gets in on it, the media gets in on it, sports gets in on it, education gets in on it, the workforce gets in on it, the government gets in on it, the UN gets in on it, the WHO gets in on it, the CDC gets, the whole world creates the culture of anti-white. And the whole goal of anti-white is to get rid of God. So when you see all of these people invading these, what you call Western countries, the main purpose and focus of it is to get rid of God. Because most of the people that would even go to these countries, they're really godless people. Don't make no mistake about it. I know it sounds bad. Blanche, they don't know. For you to want to leave your country and go somewhere else, and then when you go to that country, you not support the country. It'd be different if they went to the country and they loved the country. It'd be different if immigrants came over here and they said, you know what? I want to be American. I want to do things the right way. No, that's not what they're doing. What they're doing is they're invading America with culture. That's why at the border, you see the Chinese, you see the Middle Easterns, you see everybody at the border coming across into America. And just in case this culture thing don't work, they got a whole army in America right now. They got the Chi-Coms to the north of us. They got the Chi-Coms to the south of us. And all the while, with all this going on, they're telling you that white people are wrong. Think about this now. Everything that's going on, they're telling you that white people are wrong. The anti-white agenda is the anti-God agenda because white people represent some type of standard in this world. Order, a way of doing things, principle. Some of y'all gonna say, Blanche, that's not true. These white, I venture these white folks ain't bothering none of y'all. All these black folks complaining, and these white folks ain't bothering none of them. All they can say is that white people won't accept me, and I want to be white. But quiet as kept, you know, most people like me of all races. I've never had a problem with any group of people because I got some sense and I respect people. And I walk in love. This is why China wants to change the Bible. This is why California wants to ban the Bible. This is why the Bible's under so much scrutiny because the white man did it. Not because it's false, not because it's evil or bad, simply because the white man did it. The enemy is clever. This is how I know that the Bible is real, and y'all should know too. Think about the anti-white agenda leading to them getting rid of the Bible. There's a satanic Bible. They don't care about it. There's a Masonic Bible. They don't care about it. There's all kind of books out there about spooky spiritual. They don't care about it. They care about one book. And they're going to use the anti-white agenda to get rid of the Bible because the white man made it. I don't care how much media, Jedi mind tricks, matrix manipulation they try to give you. Over in America, there are checks and balances. You can't just do what you want to do. You can't just do what you want to do. If a package don't show up, you can call somebody and they're gonna send you another one. You can get on the phone with somebody still. You can go somewhere and talk to somebody in person still. America is checks and balances still. But these folks coming over here ain't used to checks and balances. They used to chaos. They used to disorder. That's what they want here. It's a culture war. And the culture is anti-white, which is anti-God. Because everybody that's coming over here is going to put themselves in the victim boat. All these folks leaving their country to go to another country are coming as victims. That means they have their hands out. They're not coming to give. They're coming to take. We are blessed to be in America. I don't care what they say. Replacement theory is real. Replacement theory is real. It's real. And everybody knows it. The only problem is that the non-white people think they're going to win in the end. The devil will always give you what you want, but he will never let you enjoy it. And black folks been making deals with Satan for the past at least 400 years. That's why I said anybody that has a black agenda is working for Satan. Because what black people want is not godly. Because whatever black people needed, they would go from God, they would go to God to get it. The fact that black people are going to the government that they're calling racist lets you know it's a scam. Black folks are calling the government racist, but yet asking the government for justice. You know it's a scam. Well, America's not going to fall for it. What's going to happen is you're going to be outnumbered. Like, America's not going to fall for it. You're just going to be outnumbered. You're going to wake up one day and you can't say, I'm proud to be an American. You can't wave the American flag. That's all. It's not going to be, you're not going to be with it. You're going to be outnumbered. And we saw a glimpse of this when people were wearing a Trump hat. I look at all these things as social experiments. Imagine somebody wearing a Trump hat and people attacking them. But people can wear shirts with all kind of degradation, violence, wickedness. Think about it. People wear Satan shirts. People wear shirts with Satan on them and nobody says a word. But a Trump hat makes somebody want to fight. I'm telling y'all, it's a culture war. And every time white people even fight back against it, it validates the argument. Think about that. Every time white folks say no more, enough's enough, they say, see, we told you that's racist. If I don't do nothing else, I'm finna shatter this black idol. There's a big black idol that's being erected for the whole world to worship. I'm trying to tear it down. I'm going to be on the right side of history. Again, the goal of what I'm saying is to get everybody to go to Christ. That's my goal. My whole entire goal is to get people to go to Christ. But I know through the Holy Spirit that what's going to get in everybody's way is blackness. And blackness is not based on skin color. Blackness is based on Satan's plan. The whole world's going to be black. The entire planet is going to be black because being black is not physical, it's spiritual. It's a spirit. BLM is a scam and nobody even says it. You know why? There's a culture war. If you discredit BLM, you discredit everything.
Making the face of these allegations about the fact that some of the migrants that are being busted in from the border might be creating a catastrophic public health crisis in terms of diseases and spreading some stuff. Now, I'm bringing this up because I'm trying to get you all to see that when the powers that be get ready to push a certain agenda or a new part of a particular agenda, they're going to always make sure that they have the images that's going to spark and trigger the people that they need to be triggered and moved to act more than anything. And that's always a black face. I hope you're reading through the lines. So even though we know that the overwhelming number of people and individuals that come to the country, whether legally or illegal, are non-black, look who they're making the face of a crisis, a health crisis. I can't wait to talk with you more about what I believe and know they're really up to next and why they're using our images to cover it up. The powers that be, whenever they get ready to unleash another part of their diabolical plans, they set up the narrative in the media first, which is...
Now, that's Vicky Dillard. You know, she's a bliggity black. She foolish. She got arrested, went to prison for fraud with buying houses and property and some kind of fraud stuff she did. But she said it was because she was fighting for black people and they sent her to prison. That's a lie. Fighting for black people is a very unjust cause. I know it sounds bad to say, but black people don't need any special assistance. Black people need God. So anybody trying to help black people won't be able to do it, because helping black people will mean you got to tell them the truth. And we all know that black people hate the facts, but they despise the truth. We don't have to look for immigrants coming to this country for diseases. Just look at the black community now. The black community leads the nation in STDs. Okay, so the number one demographic for STDs, in fact, black females are 8.7 times more likely to contract chlamydia and 20.5 times more likely to contract gonorrhea than are white females. The rate of STIs in the Hispanic population is also high, with Hispanics twice as likely to acquire chlamydia and gonorrhea as whites. So now I'm not going to just blame black women, because I know these men out here are dirty. But I also know that black women as a whole don't sleep with the majority of black men. So the reason why it's so high in black females is because most black women are out there sharing a guy. That's why. It's not something genetic or it's just most black women are sharing a man. That's why you have one guy got so many children. Kevin Samuels brought the stat up. He said 51% of black men single with no children. So that means that black women have to be procreating with a certain demographic, a certain group of black men. 70% of black women are single mothers. So again, we gotta, so that's why. But so what Vicky Dillard is saying is that it's a black face for the STDs, but it's already a black face to it. Now she believes that because they're saying that black people are going to be bringing in diseases, which they will be, make no mistake about it, which they will be. She believes that white folks are going to try to start a civil war. You see, folks like her are trying to push a civil war, and they all trying to think, ain't going to be no civil war, people. Black folks been defeated. All you can do now is get right with God. That's it. All this trying to do save black folks, it ain't going to happen. You ain't seen nobody trying to help black people yield a good fruit. None. Every leader that black folks have had was working for the system. You've never had a good leader. I can break down every single black leader y'all have ever seen. They all compromised. You know why? Because black people will not accept righteous leadership. So at the end of the day, all your black leaders, that's right, they with the communists, so you ain't seen no righteous black leadership. And Vicky Dillard is no different. I don't trust nobody that's a pancake Africanist but wearing a wig. How you wearing a white man's wig, but you for the black? If your head is bald-headed, shave it off and become the woman king. Why are you talking about you pro-black, but you got on a white woman's hair? Or in my bad, some Indian woman's hair. Or maybe some yak in Siberia. I don't know what it's made of. Alley cat. I don't know. I'm saying, if you so pro-black, why you not wearing your natural hair? Why is your natural hair not good enough? Why you got that big mop on top of your head? Why? You can't trust none of these people. She ain't got her hair permed. She don't have a process in. She got somebody's hair on top of her head. If it's even real hair, I don't know. All kind of chemicals. Tell them what kind of spells they cast. This woman, she always sick. I try to tell black women, y'all don't know what these folks is doing to that hair. Y'all trusting these folks because they not white. Are you crazy? Them people over there worship the woman with a whole bunch of arms, and y'all putting that hair on your head. Tell them how many demons is in the hair follicles. I don't trust nobody with fake hair in their head talking about they pro-pancake Africanist, pro-black, all this foolishness. It's foolishness. Telling me y'all pro-black, but you hate the way God naturally made you. Makeup on, nails, everything to not look your natural self, but you're trying to convince me you for black people. It's all a scam, people. So again, if anybody is telling you they are for black people, they are working for Satan. Black people don't need any handouts. They don't need special assistance. They don't need extra. Black people need God. Everything that black folks are asking for is to their detriment. If you don't believe me, I'm going to put up right now. I'm going to show you all everything that the Shade Room put up. These bills were passed in the United States in 2024. So this is a what-if scenario. Live Strong bill, free health care for everyone in the United States. It's the Shade Room. What does that sound like? Socialism, communism, free health care for all. What does that look like? Talk to the people in other countries that got free health care. One guy unalived himself because it was taking too long to get his surgery. He had cancer. That's what free health care looks like. You got to get a tooth pulled, good luck. It might take 3 years. You're on a waiting list. Black folks have traded in wisdom and discernment for appearance, for skin color, for skin worship. Black people have traded wisdom and discernment to be idolized by society, to be in movies, to be on billboards, to be in magazines, to be represented. Ego and narcissism. What does free healthcare for all sound like? It sounds like communism. That's what black people want. There is nothing that black people want that is righteous. Nothing. Aunt Flo bill. Listen to this now. The Aunt Flo bill, women of all ages will receive free monthly sanitary menstrual products. What does it sound like, people? Fill the tank bill. Got y'all dancing. Look at y'all. Got y'all dancing. Black folks just want something free. Dancing, get the. Fill the tank bill. Gas will not be more than $2 a gallon statewide. How much you pay for gas? I pay $2, girl. I pay $1.99. Black folks just dancing, just having a good time. You got black folks doing the electric slide, begging for communism. We like Karl Marx. Karl Marx was on to something. That's a good dude. If the minimum wage raises to $20, the cost of living is going to go up, you geniuses. Look at what black people are asking for. It is pure socialism and communism. And black folks having a good time doing it. And then if somebody white says, wait a minute, you all, this is communism. He's racist. She racist. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to be with y'all going to them camps, and do not come on my property. I'm going to have all kind of booby traps set up. I'm going to have a person in the tower with a sniper rifle. Do not try to drag y'all self to because you're going to get popped. I'm just telling y'all right now. You got a better chance of being, I'm going to be honest, you got a better chance of being white. I'm sorry. I'm jaded. I'm scarred. You can say, well, yeah, blast you, whatever. Don't come on my land. You're going to get popped. I'm going to assume you a zombie. Do not come on my land. Don't do it. Wired up bill. All high school and college students will receive free laptops and book vouchers. You're right, they can't read. I don't know why they want that. Ancestors Awaken Bill. Black and indigenous people who are U.S. residents receive $20,000 a year for reparations. And this right here is the cherry on top. Ancestors Awaken Bill. Black and indigenous people who are U.S. residents receive $20,000 a year for reparations. What do you think would happen if black folks was getting $20,000 a year? I'll tell you what would happen. Most y'all wouldn't get it because most y'all couldn't prove that you was a descendant of a slave. But you know who will be able to prove it? Them white folks will. Those white people are going to trace their lineage back, and somehow, some way, they're going to have a black real ancestor, and they getting that check. We know that black folks don't like doing this kind of stuff. They research and y'all not going to do it. So most y'all won't get this money, but y'all going to say it's racism because the white folks getting it. What black people are asking for is for America to be communist. The Shade Room spilled the beans with this post. If you go to this post and look at the comments, black folks love all this. And 60% of black people that were surveyed wanted socialism. So the demise of America comes via socialism and communism. And that's what black people want. So the average black person is really anti-American. That's why most black folks support immigration, because they feel like immigration is getting back at white people. They have played a dirty game with the people, trying to convince the people, having convinced the people that if it's not white, it's good. You know how dangerous that is?
This is one of the worst things somebody's probably ever done to me while street performing.
So the girl comes back. Now, if it wasn't wrong the first time, the girl comes back and knocks his keyboard on the ground. And she's only doing it because he's white. She wouldn't dare touch Pookie or Ray Ray's keyboard because she knows she'd be on the ground. Now, why would this girl feel the need to come back and mess this? Why? I'll tell you why. Because the anti-white agenda is anti-God. And if anti-white is being anti-God, then that means sin becomes righteousness. Doing what's wrong becomes right because he's white. So if I do it to him, it's a virtuous act. I showed him. He's sitting there playing in front of people, showing his privilege, playing on them white fingers, touching those white fingertips, touching those ivory keys. I almost lost my mind. He was singing with a smile on his face, hair moving in the wind, skin a light peach. Ooh, it just sitting me. I was enraged. This is her internal dialogue she's having with herself. Each time that hand touched that key, she got more and more incensed. That's that demon inside her. That demon said, go over there and disrupt what he's doing so they can focus on you. But my edge is messed up. Shut up, girl. Go over there and do it so they can focus on you. She did it. Let's continue.
I give you $100. Give him a heavy tip. Heavy tip. Heavy tip.
Wait. Ain't no
generational story.
So on top of her tearing his keyboard up, knocking it to the ground at least, she stole his tip money. This is what all this anti-white stuff is for. And then when he lashes out, they're going to have a sob story about her. It's all a setup. Because when he lashes out, he has privilege. You see, what they told you was white folks have privilege. So if they have privilege, you can't ever really hurt a white person because they have privilege. And so to add insult to injury, she stole his money. And her friends in the background are complicit. They laughed it off. Nobody felt bad. Nobody jumped into his defense. Could you imagine if it was a black girl playing and a white guy did that? The whole crowd would attack him. This is how you know all of this stuff is wicked and evil. Because you know the response would be different if it was the other way around. That's how you know it's from Satan. You see, when it's God, it's the same standard no matter who it is, because God is no respecter of person. God is no respecter of person. So it's the same for everybody. But with this anti-white agenda, you see it's very one-sided.
How could I want to hit about it?
All right, then.
So the girl comes by, messes up his song, comes by again, knocks it on the ground, steals his money, then they come back and say you want to fight. This is how egregious black people are. I don't listen to social media. I don't listen to the media. I don't listen to these fake talking points. I know black people. I know at the core of what black folks represent, and it ain't good. And how do we know this? Because nobody came to this guy's defense. Death, destruction, and damnation.
At 15, you watched the epic TV series Roots. Yes. And developed an attitude about a white society, and your mom said to you, Michael, rise above it.
Yes. How did you know that? I became very disturbed by it, and I became very angry, and I started to retaliate in school.
Your dad, James Jordan, reached out to a young white kid from South Dakota named Dave Bridgers.
Yes.
And almost made him a son.
He was like my brother. I did not see him as a white kid, and he didn't see me as a black kid. You know, we used to go to other pools, and he would take me, and as soon as I get in the pool, they would get out of the pool. You know, he and I would get up and leave. You know, we would leave that house because he felt like if I wasn't welcome, he wasn't welcome. I think it's important that you don't forget your heritage, but you move forward in trying to make a better life for everyone.
You all know that Roots was how most black folk learned about slavery. Now you heard Jordan said he was angry, he became upset, started lashing out, all this stuff, which means before the movie or the week-long TV miniseries, he wasn't doing that. He only had a problem with white people after watching Roots. So how many other black folks watch Roots and developed this hate for white people? Now, Alex Haley already said Roots was made up. How many other black people dislike white people from a fictitious TV series movie, which was the intent of the movie? The intent of the movie was to plant this seed. Jordan just told you that before Roots, he had no problems with white people. After he watched the movie, he didn't say an event happened to me. He didn't say they did something to me. He said after I watched Roots, and now the programming has set in. White folks didn't watch Roots and hate black people. You see no accounts of white people going to work the next day bragging about Roots. You ain't heard nobody say the attitude of white people changed because of Roots. You didn't hear nobody. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody's ever said that white folks got more racist because of roots. So that means it was one side fueling this whole racial divide as black people. Let's go to the motherland, and then I'm going to end on immigration. They beating on two women. One woman actually has her baby on her back. They knocked her to a cricket in the head, all this stuff, But again, this is Africa. Now you got a bunch of black folks defending this. You don't know what's going on in the video. There's never a reason for men with AK-47s to be kicking women holding their children in the head. I'm sorry. I don't care who they're looking for. I don't care what's going on. But again, this is what black people are worshiping. It's the motherland. Now, y'all are telling me that white folks are worse than this. Now, if you all tell me that black and white is the same, I won't say anything about it. But y'all are telling me that white people are worse. And we can all agree that in Africa, 99% of the crime is black on black. Can we agree with that? Can we agree in Africa, 99% of the crime is black on black? Now, they go to villages and kill these people and chop them up with, just brutal. Chop them up with machetes, men, women, and children. They so savage in Africa. I said it. Now, when the white folks said back in the day savage, y'all said it was racist. I'm telling y'all they savage. This is savagery, barbarism. I'm not going to play it again because it's too horrific. But black folks weren't condemning this because it's their culture. It's Africa. You can't critique it. It's disgusting.
What was going on in your mind at the time when you were doing this?
You give me the sex, and I will be satisfied. Even you don't, I will make a plan to kill you.
Doing this?
You give me the sex, and I will be satisfied. Even you don't, I will make a plan to kill you.
You get to realize that that woman, she's now HIV positive.
Yes.
How do you feel that you gave her HIV?
I'm powerful.
You are powerful?
Yeah, I'm powerful. Powerful guy. HIV, so I want to spread that HIV. When I feel you have calves, you nice, like the way I want, I will make a plan to get you.
You heard what he said? Just casually talking about R-wording women. Just taking it. Giving them HIV. He said he wants to spread HIV. I told y'all. You got the media telling you that they all good in Africa. They victims of colonialism. All this stuff they spreading to y'all. And these people are literally Satan in the flesh. The Antichrist spirit in the flesh manifest. This man just said, I'm going to take it just to get my rocks off. And if she doesn't give it to me, I'm going to end her life. You see, y'all think it don't exist because you don't see it. I have the burden of knowing what's behind the curtain of all this black empowerment stuff. It's this. It's death, destruction, and damnation. The Bible says we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, the rulers of darkness, wickedness in high places. That means that whatever you think is a physical war between man is not. There is no conflict between man. None. We do not wrestle against flesh and blood. So that means any conflict you see is orchestrated. Somebody is pulling the strings. And I know it's hard to believe because you're thinking to yourself, well, who would be that evil? Who would be that wicked? Satan. This is a spiritual battle. What's in a man's heart is going to come out. You can only hide and fake for so long. So at the end of the day, these folks in charge know what buttons to push. We've been on social media for the past 10 years. They know what to do. We've been on social media for over a decade. These people know how to push people's buttons, man. They know what to show you, what to not. They know. If the people want you to pick a side, don't pick a side. That's the setup. Because both sides are controlled by the same people. This immigration crisis or issue at the border is really an act of war. It's a war. It's a war on your liberties. It's a war on your mind. It's a war against your spirit, your sensibilities. They want you to be okay with all of this. And you're going to wake up one day and the folks sneaking across this border or just walking in will have more rights than you. They're going to have more rights than you. And by the time these people figured out what's really going on, it's going to be too late. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all on probably Friday or Saturday. I love y'all. Yeah.